4 o'clock, which means it is time for the most motivating segment in all of sports. It is also time for us as a staff to address some of your letters. For the year 2023, we get a lot of physical mail,
yes, we do.
and we're always willing to address your concerns and questions.
Oh, there's the music.
I love it.
I got this for a cut at my house when I open up my bills.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Wilds, love the podcast reads, but I'm none too fond of cyberspace. Sometimes I want to be motivated by the bud list, but don't want to jump through these gosh darn digital hoops to get there. That's why I write letters. I think it's one of our older viewers. Cheers, Don Sr. I think it's Don's father.
A lot of Dons out
Don's.
there. Don and Dawn.
Well, thank you for writing, Don Sr. We get this a lot because not everyone is as digitally savvy as we are.
Right.
That's why
What do we have today?
Yeah, today we have the Budless record. Budless Greatest Hits 2023's most inspirational and motivational record. It's got hits such as Baker Mayfield, and the third cut is called I Believe in You. It's fantastic. We listen to it all the time, so it's just wonderful.
Thank you for promoting that.
You're
I
welcome.
thought it was forgotten. I made that decades ago. People didn't know a brother could sing, but I can. All right, check it out. All right, let's get to it. At number 3, a lot of times quarterbacks land on this list, sometimes coaches, but Eli Apple is a defensive back, a quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. I had to say it because you might not know that. All right, he's been in the league 7 years. He's been with 4 teams, never made a Pro Bowl despite being the 10th pick in the draft back in 2016. But his claim to fame, boy, he can run his mouth. All right, he has some legendary trash talk against the Buffalo Bills. Nick and Wiles didn't like it. I thought some of it was hilarious. And one of his lines after beating them last week was, safe travels to Cabo. Now, here's the thing. That's not going to age well if a week later you are going to Cabo. So Eli Apple, the pressure's on, and you got to do it against the best quarterback in the NFL. A lot of pressure on motor mouth Eli Apple for the Cincinnati Bengals. At number 2, here we go. We get into the quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts. All right, Jalen, despite you being a finalist for the MVP award, for the Offensive Player of the Year award, there are still some non-believers out there. One of them has really long hair and a vested interest in you losing. All right, silence him. Please, Jalen, silence him. All right, and also, this is no shade at the next guy I'm about to mention, but Jalen Hurts, seriously, has a chance to become what a lot of people thought Dak Prescott would be. He's high on the intangibles, high character, great leader, runs the ball, throws it pretty well. You could do what Dak has yet to do. So there's that. And, of course, you got a chance to get the huge contract. If you get them to the Super Bowl, the Eagles, I think they'll give you the bag, my man. So a lot of things on you, Jalen, this week, but I do believe in you. At number 1, first appearance for this young man this season on the Bud list, usually because he's so great. And it is Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people would think he got a built-in excuse. If they lose, he's playing on a ankle sprain. But Patrick, no, we see you in the video. We see you running around looking spry, to use Nick Wright's words. Okay? And the bottom line is, in the future, no one's going to remember the ankle sprain.
Oh, look at the spin.
If you lose to Joe Burrow for the 4th straight year, all right? Despite you about to be winning your second MVP award of your career, despite you being christened as Jordan-esque and the best I've ever seen by smart football people, and it was documented for all of posterity by Sports Illustrated.
True.
That I said that first, that you're the best I've ever seen at the QB position. If you lose to Joe Burrow this weekend at home again in the Arrowhead Invitational, or maybe it will be the Burrowhead Invitational or Burrowhead Stadium, then you will be shocked at how so many people want to say he is better than you and that he is the best quarterback in the league. It'll be happening fast enough to make your huddle spin. All right? So get out there, Patrick. Do your thing. I do believe in you. That is this week's Bud.
Very wonderful.
Oh, I like these guys on the Bud list. I'm going to add one more guy because this is motivation.
Yep.
A.J. Brown, my
Thank you.
guy.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Look, man, amplified attention equals amplified expectations. A.J. Brown, you made some noise, man. You let us all know how you really felt. Even when your team won 38-7 in a divisional round against a division rival, you talked. You showed us by your emotions, by your posture. You really wanted to be more involved. I'm not mad at you, but now all eyes are on you. Jalen Hurts, he's going to be thinking about how can I get my guy the ball. So when you do get these opportunities, you got to deliver. We saw this team struggle with one of your counterparts, your guy, DK, early in the playoffs, wild card round. He went crazy. We all felt like, man, you get DK the ball early, he gets involved, big game. You said, give me the ball early. It keeps me involved. Those were your words. So now my eyes and my ears are going to be tuned to my TV, locked on my screen, waiting for you to make those big plays happen when you get your opportunity. Don't let us down, because your team didn't let you down even though you wanted that ball last week. And I get you as a receiver. You throw me the ball 100 times, I want it 102 times. You said 101, I need 2 more than you.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Well done, Greg Jennings. What I like about that is that's from one receiver to another,
Absolutely.
so you know what you're talking about. Nick likes to go back to back in the day. Guess what? I was a receiver in high school. And AJ, I second what Greg just said.
World?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Conference championship
Conference
team.
championship.
Made the
Well,
state
in that
playoffs.
case,
3-point stance?
let me put.
No.
And
I was
Stay in
like
the
Lynn
face
Swan,
mask with
baby.
the one
Hands on
bar.
the hips.
All right. This is a guy I like a lot. A guy who I think, while Brew might have been the first person, allegedly, to call Patrick Mahomes the most talented quarterback he's ever seen, I think I was the first person to be adamant that this guy is a top 2 quarterback in the league. When other people had images of Josh Allen dancing in their head like so many sugar plums and fairies, I am putting Joe Burrow on the Bud list.
Everybody's on.
And here's why. I believe at this point, the expectations for the Bengals have exceeded the production for the Bengals come the postseason. So I have a stat for America that I think will be shocking. Much like the Trevor Lawrence never lost on a Saturday stat, I think this one will start to sweep the nation. The Bengals in these last 2 years of the playoffs haven't scored a single fourth quarter touchdown.
I like this
on
stat.
offense. The only fourth quarter touchdown they have in the 2 years of playoff games where they're 5-1 was scored by Sam Hubbard. They have scored 12 fourth quarter points total in their 6 playoff games. They have scored more than 27 points 0 times in their 6 playoff games. For some context there, Patrick Mahomes has played 10 career playoff games that he's started and finished. They scored at least 31 in 8 of those 10. Joe Burrow's Bengals are yet to score 28 in any of these games, and they're yet to get in the end zone in the fourth quarter. So I say all that to say this. The Bengals right now, Brew, and Joe Burrow are being treated like an offensive juggernaut. They have not been that. Now, they have been an incredibly clutch team, and Lou Anarumo and that defense has been brilliant in the biggest of spots. But I believe Patrick Mahomes is not going to short circuit in the second half of this game as he did last year. And I believe this is going, if the Bengals are going to have a chance, they are going to have to go blow for blow with the Kansas City Chiefs in the fourth quarter of this game. And I don't know that they can do that. If they do it, it'll be the first time they've done it in 2 years in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I want to see it.
Not bad. I've tended to think that Joe Burrow's playing with house money going into this game, but I do think you're right. If he loses this, I don't think people will say he's better than Patrick Mahomes. And maybe the Josh Allen, Joe Burrow thing
that's
picks
dead
up a little
gone, but
steam.
maybe Trevor
At least in
versus
these
Joe.
parts, it might pick up a little more
Maybe
steam.
the Prince. Maybe the Prince.
The Prince not in that
Speaking
class.
of the Prince, I'm putting a triumvirate of quarterbacks on the Bud list from the 2021 draft class. Starting off with my guy, Mac Jones. Oh, Mac, I'm sorry. There was an article in the Boston Herald today that was just an indictment of Bill Belichick's coaching decisions with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. My favorite quote, Mac Jones about Joe Judge. Mac didn't like him at all. Thank goodness we got Bill O'Brien coming in. But it is a bad, bad article. And people are blaming Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Kind of Bill Belichick's fault. He put him in that position. Guy number 2, Zach Wilson. The other news today, Nathaniel Hackett going to New York. So Zach Wilson's like, am I the guy? Am I going to lose my job for Flacco or Strevler or Mike White? Like, maybe all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers. So what was kind of bad got worse for Zach Wilson. And finally, when I was playing a league basketball game, I was sitting on the bench, I would kind of sit there, and I'm a team player, you know that, but I would look at Scott, and every once in a while I'd be like, man, I hope Scott misses this one. I should be in there. Turns out Scott was better than me, much better. But I'm not a very good man, I guess, when it comes to basketball. What's Trey Lance doing? What's Trey?
Nick's guy.
They gave up a lot. Like, if I'm Trey Lance, I am going to be rooting for actually, if I was Trey Lance, I wouldn't be. But I think Trey Lance, is Trey Lance going to be the quarterback of the Colts next year? I don't know what's going on with Trey Lance, but either way, I believe in all three of you guys. But I think it's a lot of stressful moments.
You do believe in them.
I do. And Justin Fields got the first pick. Oddly, being the worst, having the worst record, put Justin Fields in the best spot.
Yeah. Those were 3 interesting names. They're in some bad, all of them in bad positions.
But you know what? I believe in you.
All right, that's good. Wow.
Thanks. It's a good cut.
Can I see the record again?
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, that's the instrumental cut.
Let's play it. This is the instrumental version.
Yeah.
Give me a little vocal rendition of it.
No. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Burrow was about to let it go.
Give us a little bit.
Burrow was about
Give us a little bit.
I was about to.
He was. No.
They really did.
Steph throws his mouthpiece next. First things first.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.